Hello, it's me, Alice Jenkins, your local clinical counsellor. Local on the internet? Yeah, let's run with it. That's my son. He's very cute. So, a new series 1, episode 1, let's call it Getting Ready with Psychology. Today I wanted to talk about DBT. So I've got a DBT group running in March 23, and what is DBT? What is it? Well, before I get into that, I've done my face already, so you missed out on that part. Drugstore discount. Maybe you can tell, maybe you can't. So I'm just gonna do my hair now. Just bring my stool in. It's a bit rickety. I got it off the street, so that's probably why. I love a good bargain. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is try to make this head of hair tolerable for presenting a gift to those who gaze upon me. And the reason why I say tolerable is because I actually cut my own hair recently with the Brad Mundo hair tutorial. Butterfly cut, I guess, but I brought it up to the front, and that's so bad. I look like my sister says it looks like I've got an 80s perm. So let's roll with that. The other thing is I could keep cutting it for days. The one cut thing, no. The ends are just all see, look at that. Just disproportionate end length. But I'm rocking with it. I'm rolling with it. I've probably lost about that much hair, so I don't want to take any more off. But we're making do. Got this brush that's been eaten by my child, my fur child. But this is the third brush he's eaten, so I can't buy another one. I'm sorry. He's just, he just loves me too much, I think. Anything with my scent, he wants to eat. So you can see it's like what is this? Who are we? What are we doing here? I don't know. We're living our best life. We're being playful, creative, fun. So, let's just get a part in there. My favorite thing in the world is a comb, a point comb, tail comb I think it's called. So now you're seeing the tragedy of it all. The layers are just too much. Who am I? A bowl cut on the top? It's kind of like it's not great. But it doesn't look too bad styled, or just chuck it up. So we'll see how we go there. Tried to cut my own fringe as well. It's not very even. But, we make do around here. So, what I'm going to do is use my antique hot roller set. See how it goes. So I think last time I did it, I just kind of put too many in, and I think I only want curls from here down, so don't roll it up there, which was my mistake. See, already that's not too bad. Pull that back. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I'm running out of time because life be like that sometimes. And just gonna section off and get into it. So what is DBT? Well, pretty interesting history, because DBT was created by Marsha Lineham, Doctor, Professor, I'm not sure, she deserves some title, but she is actually a psychologist, and she created this type of therapy, and then she, after it was peer reviewed and accepted and statistically validated as a really great treatment option, she finally, after it was all gravy, she came out and said, hey world, I have BPD. What? So what? And the reason why she kept that a secret throughout her career is because she acknowledges stigma, and that she wouldn't be taken seriously and it wouldn't be published if people knew that she actually had the condition herself. So it was created for people with BPD, but it's honestly can be used for absolutely anyone who maybe missed out on some like basic life skills in their youth. I love it. It's been super helpful for me, and I recommend it to anyone really. Like if you've done your talk therapy, either you've processed your stuff, you've talked through things, and you're still not having much results, or you're kind of like, talk therapy can actually be super triggering for people with like PTSD and stuff, so it's not always the best option. So if you don't want to do that, or you've tried that and you still want more support or more help, then DBT is a great option for you. So the words in the acronym kind of explain what it is. So dialectical. So if you think of like the yin yang symbol, there is two conflicting or oppositional forces, and they're both equally valid. So when you think in your mind that I'm fat, or let's go with that one, that's pretty common. So you wouldn't also hold an oppositional view in your mind naturally to think I'm fat, and that's spelt with a PH because I am beautiful. But that is kind of where it's coming. So it's like to hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. This is true and that is true. I have fat on my body and I am attractive to people that see me, or I am not the best communicator, but I'm also at the same time able to get there in the end, so it's there's so many great examples of that. So that is kind of the fundamental point of it, is this and that. So the therapy is not trying to change your core thoughts or beliefs, per se. We're just trying to work with them as they are, meet you where you are today. And then the behavioral aspect of the DB behavior is that actually a lot of our issues come from how we communicate and how we interact with other people. And those are just skills. That's not an innate issue. That's something wrong with you. You know, that's just a skill. You know, giving a speech, or pitching yourself at a job interview, or, you know, writing a story and speaking it out on the radio. That's all just skills. And guess what? Skills are taught. So most of the time we can get you to where you want to be in life just by learning the skills through DBT. And the therapeutic aspect of it is just that it is super helpful, growth, change. So in the typical DBT, or the gold standard, you could say, people should complete a 1-year course where every week you go to group therapy, and then every week you have an individual session. And so the individual session is when you get to kind of talk about your own personal experiences, and the group is when we, you know, in a more of a teacher-student moment, go through the skills and learn them all together. And that's meant to create psychological safety, because, you know, it can be really difficult to be with a bunch of people you don't really know, or you know, it's not the purpose of the group to share our you know, deepest, darkest secrets and what have you. It's just a place that we can kind of all meet together to learn together and to come up with our personalized skills in dialogue with each other. So yeah, so I guess the reason why you kind of need to do it in a group, or with someone who is qualified to facilitate it, is because the skills are just open for you to make them your own. You know, it's not something that you can just read a book and understand. Like, there's work in it. There's a workbook, there's homework, there is the chain analysis, the emotional tracking forms, and that's the kind of conversations that we have in the one-on-one session. So it is meant to be a whole year to really, you know, get it happening. But just in regards to time pressures, obviously funding from private health or Medicare or whatever you use, that is going to be challenging for lots of people to have that amount of time. You know, you need to have 2 workers, so you need all of that stuff. I think the shortest one I've seen is 8 weeks. The one that I'm going to be running is 10 weeks. I think that is personally the smallest kind of time segment, and that's just teaching the skills. That's not like going over it in depth. You know, you do have the one-on-one. What color is that? Blue. Okay. You do have the one-on-one, so that is more your time to do that kind of deep learning. But yeah, I guess that's a good explanation of that. You know, why was it created? Why is it the gold standard? Why is it so sought after, I guess, is because, you know, if you don't just have a chemical imbalance in the brain after a one-time depressive episode or a traumatic incident, if there is a pattern over time of, you know, having issues, I guess you could say, then DBT is really the best for you, because I guess, you know, psychologists and psychiatrists and counselors and social workers kind of got to the point where they're like, I'm seeing this person every week, and yes, we're like, you know, getting to the crux of an issue, but then next week there's another issue that is kind of, so like, what's going on here? Why can't I really help people, you know? And oh, that's a bit high, isn't it? What's she doing? So yeah, so DBT is like actually getting to the root of why do some people have a consistent string of bad things happening in their lives, when other people seem to be okay. And I guess you can kind of trace it back to, you know, early childhood experiences, attachment issues, but fundamentally, like, it's like when I was doing applied behavioral analysis, you think, isn't this just basic parenting? Isn't this just basic being a good person? Like, isn't this just basic life skills? Yeah, I guess so. But like, not everyone has that. Not everyone has that skill. You know, for me, I've learnt it all through academia and lived experience. It wasn't, you know, something that my mum or my parents or my dad could teach me. And that's, you know, different reasons. I mean, my family is kind of still feeling the after shocks of the Second World War, you could say. So yeah, so I hope that's kind of given a little bit of insight. Let's just see how we're going, and I'll come back once they're all in. Okay. Bad news. I just realised I didn't put any heat spray in. So, oops, I did it again. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's already pretty fried. You can see my blonde ends looking a bit greasy. Might need to do a retouch. Okay, is your hair meant to go in here? The end? Like, what's that about? Maybe, who knows? That'd be cool. I mean, it's working. Huh, all the things you didn't know from getting a second-hand roller kit. You know, we want to have a bit of like straight in there. I'm trying to do the whole like cool, sexy, like, oh, I just woke up like this moment. For whom? Just for me, you know, just to feel good in my own skin. That's a little part of the DBT thing, is, you know, planning ahead and being prepared. Prepared for anything. Prepared for a close-up. Prepared for winning $1 million on some TV show on the street. Who knows? You never know. You know, I want to be ready for that. So I think I'll just leave that like that. Okay, ready, guys? No. So I think you're meant to let these cool. Yeah. We'll see. So just while these are cooling down, getting my curl in, what can I do to appease these messes? So, glitterati. The problem with going back in with powder is that it becomes like super cakey, and like, I don't know if the right term is fallout or it's falling off, more like it, like yeah, once you start sweating, which is a real issue in Queensland, it will like be all splotchy, and I don't know what to do about that. So this is actually just the Chemist Warehouse discount like home brand DB, or maybe it's from another chemist, but yeah, it's like a home brand option. I just feel like makeup is a conspiracy theory about things that cost a lot. I don't know, I feel like, you know, it's all pretty much the same. Prove me wrong. I don't know. But there we go. It's looking a bit less shiny. So, got a bit of that there. I think one thing that you shouldn't, I guess, skimp on, not that, you know, people have options these days, but brushes are probably more important than the brand of makeup, in my opinion. There we go. And I guess a little outfit check. I've got a two-piece. This is handmade, 100% cotton. 0870 spelt out. It's the postcode of Alice Springs, where I purchased it from a small business owner at the International Women's Day event at the old jail last year. So coming up to a year ago, since that is the 8th of March. And how are we going with that? So I think now I should go in with a blending brush. Something I learnt again in Alice Springs was the importance of blending. So I've just got like a clean I wanted to say something rude, but I don't know what they're called. Bonsai brush? No. Anyway, whatever. A brush, the fluffy one. Clean. You just want to kind of push it in, but also we're blending. It's hard work. It's hard work with this beauty stuff. You know, I never really got into makeup until, you know, later in life. I feel like now it makes a difference, whereas when I was younger, it just made me look older. So now we're meeting in the middle. And there we go. How's that? Forget this side. I feel like I got a lot in my eye. That is a common issue for me with my double hooded downturned eye. Okay. Crisis averted, but now I need to go. I don't want to wear that out. So embarrassing. My bag will be a brown leather handbag, just classic. Got to bring some books, so it's like a big shoulder bag. And I was thinking about like these tartan, I'll show you. These, yeah. Is that a little too much? Print. Whatever. I'm too much. So just live your best life, girl. Okay, we'll do the final reveal in a minute. You know what? I feel like my overpriced wedding thong is probably a better option, but I'm just not sure if I trust the streets of the valley with them. Ridiculous. These will match the bag, so vibe check. Look, these will drop down. Let's just kind of Just go crazy, just wild. I'm so wild and free. I'm Farrah Fawcett. Okay. Hey. I think the direction that you like roll it is pretty important. Also, I didn't use any product, so it will definitely fall because I've got very thin hair. It's giving me body. It's giving me she by Sheree. Okay. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it and learnt something new. And if you have any questions, ask me and I can address it. Okay? Have a good one.